Hello everyone. Today I am here to persuade you, my audience, that the U.S. should have universal health care for all. Suppose you woke up one day and your daughter said she was having trouble breathing and her legs hurt. By that night, she has a 106-degree fever and she's hallucinating, so you rush her to the ER. The doctor there disregards the severity of the situation and gives her ibuprofen and tells you it's a cold, go home, monitor, self-treat. So that's what you do. The next thing you know, it's a week later and she's even worse. Now she can't walk, her breathing is short and raspy. After 2 more visits to the ER finally decides to call for a pediatrician. He immediately realizes the severity of the situation and rushes you to a children's hospital because, unbeknownst to you, your child is now on the brink of death at this point. Once you get to the hospital, your child is whisked away, and before you can go with her, you're handed a mountain of paperwork, all regarding how the final bill will be paid. If you have insurance, you get to stay. Your child gets to be treated. If you don't have insurance and you are at a privately funded hospital, you're likely to be discharged immediately and left to your own devices on how to treat your child. Universal health care for all will benefit the people of the U.S. not only by allowing accessible health care to every single person at no cost, it will also save the government and taxpayers money, as well as allow every person to receive access to preventative care. The U.S. should have universal health care for all. My daughter was the child I referenced in the beginning. She was lucky she had health care. After multiple visits to the ER, 2 different hospital stays, the second being for an entire month, and monitored at-home care with nurses in and out of the house for 2 weeks after discharge, there was a statement of benefits received at my house showing the insurance paid $210,000 on Aubrey's health care. Without insurance, she would have been able to access most hospitals, including the one that saved her life. All in all, likely meaning she would have died due to the severity of her illness. There are many positive things to universal health care in the U.S. First, preventative care can be accessed by everybody, meaning most illnesses, serious or not, can be caught before getting serious and costly. Second, money will be saved by sick people because they will have the option to see a healthcare professional through doctor appointments instead of having to go through the ER. ER fees are quite costly in comparison, and they're more costly in comparison to general appointments. And hospitals could lower their fees if they're seeing less people coming in through the ER for basic needs. Third, and most importantly, no one should ever have to worry about whether they can afford to be sick or afford to seek treatment for something that could be life-threatening. Preventative care is one of the most important parts of universal health care. Early diagnosis before a situation becomes serious or deadly is the goal to keeping a community healthy. Not only will preventative care keep most people healthier longer, it will also keep costs low because the hope is that health is maintained and less serious illnesses are had. Money saved is another great reason to incorporate universal health care. Universal health care would be funded by federal income taxes. Many people fear that the taxes will drastically increase in the event of universal health care, but while yes, it would go up a bit, the monthly increase would still be far less than what you are already paying monthly right now for private insurance. And on top of it, everyone has affordable health insurance. Why wouldn't you do that? Canada and its universal healthcare system are a great example of this. While the U.S. tax brackets range from 10 to 35% for individuals, in Canada it actually only ranges from 15 to 29%, and they're able to fund healthcare just fine in their country. ER visits can still be very costly when uninsured patients are using the ER for a basic appointment because they can't access a doctor due to having no insurance. The hospital will likely have to eat all those costs, causing bills for everyone who does have insurance like me to go up, and they will have to offset that cost somewhere. In fact, $210 billion is wasted annually on unnecessary services in the hospital system. One of the biggest reasons people don't go to the doctor is because they can't afford the bills that'll come after. No one should ever have to choose between health and money. It just shouldn't be a question. Finally, affordable health care is a right, and that's the most important value of universal health care. Health care should always be viewed as a basic right. Many countries have figured out how to offer basic health care to its people without even breaking the bank. No parent should have to choose between seeking treatment for their child or making rent and putting food on the table. Plus, if the U.S. can figure out how to fund universal health care for the people of Iraq and Afghanistan, we should certainly be able to figure out a version of it that works for us here in the U.S. Healthcare should be a basic human right and accessible for all, despite income. Today, I explained 3 big reasons as to why the U.S. should have universal healthcare for all. From preventative care to cost saving across the board, healthcare is a basic right that should be accessible by everyone. The U.S. should always have basic universal healthcare. Money or lack thereof is never a reason for life or death. Wealth shouldn't allow you to live a long life, while being poverty-stricken means you're less important and your life isn't as valued simply because you couldn't afford insurance. Every life is important. Let's value it by providing people with health care. A small investment in health could change a person's entire life.